Okay, today we're going to be talking about the AA degree worksheet, and I consider this a roadmap. And you know how it is with a roadmap, you need one of those to get where you're going. So we're going to go through the whole degree, and we're going to talk about both sides of the sheet of paper because there's a lot of information on that one little document. Okay, so it's good to keep this sheet current and bring it with you when you want to meet with a counselor or an advisor. Oh, I wanted to mention we are filming today and I'd like to welcome our students at Fairchild who are going to be watching this video. Hope it'll be helpful. Okay. So there's also information about the AA degree in the quarterly schedule, which just came out recently for this coming winter quarter, and also in the college catalog, which is available both as a catalog in reality and also on the web. So the basics, 90 credits, and these are 90 credits taken from classes that are 100 and 200 level classes. If you are taking classes below the 100 level, in order to get to the 100 level classes that are required, those do not count in your 90 credit count for the AA degree. Make sure that you're clear about that. The courses are divided into 7 areas, and we're going to go through those 7 areas. The only course that is dictated by course title of the whole 90 credits that are required is English 101. Or if you have tested out of it with an AP score, you also will get that 5 credits on your worksheet. The second course that you take in that category is your choice. However, it may be determined by what your major is. So if you're going to be an ed major, you are going to take English 102. And in order to take English 102, you have to have at least a 2.0 in English 101. Also, if you're thinking about being a business major, anybody here thinking about being a business major? Okay, you're also going to want to take both 101 and 102. So if you know what you're going to major in, you need to consult that major and see if they have a specific English requirement beyond English 101. So that's what it looks like. So if you've taken English 101 or any of the classes that are listed in this group, you could write in the quarter, like this quarter is fall, we would put F10 for this quarter, and then you would either check it off or write in the 5 credits. This group number 2 is probably one of the groups that causes the most confusion. In order to get an AA degree, you need to show intermediate algebra competency. You can do that either by testing out of it or taking the actual class, which would be under the new numbering system. 98 was the classroom, and 99 is the online or in the math lab. You must have a 2.0 in order to get a little X in that box. So the classes that you might need to take in order to get to the required level, Math 92 or Math 94, those do not count in the 90 credit total that you need for a degree. Now, that gives you an X in the box, but now you need 5 more credits. So let everybody turn over their sheet of paper and look at group 2. It's going to show you just exactly what classes by class title, what will fit in that group. Okay, so you do not need a math class beyond intermediate algebra to get an AA degree. However, most programs at the university and college 4-year level require 1 class beyond intermediate algebra. So you're going to want to take that here at the Falls for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't want to wait until 2 or 3 years later and try to fire up that part of your brain again that does math. You want to get it done while your brain is in the math mode. Number 1 reason. Number 2 reason, you can use that 5 credit class either in this quantitative group or you can use it in the math science group, which is group number 5. Currently, we still offer a class, Philosophy 106. It's called Logic. Has anybody in here taken Logic? Okay, one person has taken Logic. You can use Logic in that area currently. That can change in the future, but right now it is accepted. Here's what I tell students about Logic. Some students absolutely love it. Some students feel like it twists their brain in a knot, and they like having their brain twisted in a knot. Other students get their brains twisted in a knot, and they don't think that's much fun at all. So here's what I tell students. If you're thinking about taking Logic as your quantitative requirements, at the minimum, go to the bookstore and open up that book and read a couple of paragraphs and see if it fits with how your brain works. Because I really, honestly, I don't think it's a question of intelligence. I think it's a question of how your brain is wired neurologically. Even better would be a quarter prior to taking it, to going into that class on, say, the 3rd or 4th day of a new quarter, and saying to the instructor, I just want to sit in here for a minute and see what this class is like because I'm thinking about taking it. The other one would be Math 107. If you're a business major, it would be Business Statistics 217. If you're a person who's going to major in one of the sciences or mathematical programs, then you would probably want to take Math 141. If you have any questions about what you should take in that area, please ask a counselor or an advisor, because we want you to take the right class. Okay, Humanities. 3 separate subject areas. This gets people sometimes. If you are a person who did not take 2 years of foreign language in high school, and you're going on to a 4-year program in which a foreign language is required, then you would need to have 1 full year of foreign language. So you would put your first foreign language class in the humanities, and where would you put the other 10 credits? I heard it, electives. Yes, you would put those in electives. So you need to hit on 2 of the subgroups. You don't have to hit on all 3, but you do need to hit on 2 of the subgroups. Now, this is another area where you have to be a little bit careful. I have students that come in and they say, oh, yes, I got the humanities done because I took Journalism 110, and I took Communications 227, and I took Art 101. Now stay on the back side of that sheet of paper and looking under the Group 3 for Humanities. Do you see Art 101 listed in the Humanities? No, you do not. Only the art classes listed, Art 108, 109, 110, etc., because these are classes about art. They're learning about art. They're not doing art. Same thing for music. So I tell people the classes in this category, Category 3, are not doing classes, they're learning about that particular thing classes. So the film class, again, you're not making films, you're studying about film history. I will mention that in this category, Communication Studies 227 seems to be a very popular course. It meets our diversity requirement. It's an excellent course for anybody that's going into a field where you're going to be relating with lots of people. Any questions about humanities? Okay, so let's say you took English Literature with a W, you took Journalism 110, you took a Humanities film class, and now you want to take the History of Jazz, Music 124. You've already got 3 classes in Humanities. Where's Music 124 going to go? Electives, right. And same thing if you wanted to take a second philosophy class, it would go in electives. Okay, so social sciences, the same thing is going on here. You have to touch on each of these 2 subgroups. And what you choose in this area might be dictated or influenced by what you're thinking about what you want to do when you go on to the 4-year school. So for example, if you want to major in business, you're going to take Economics 202 here. Any business majors? Okay. So we have a whole list of business prerequisites. Unfortunately, I do have paper. Now I need something to write with. I'm just going to write these up real quickly for business. These are the requirements for business. Business 217, econ 202 and 201, accounting 201, 202, 203, business, I think it's 201, it's whatever is our law number now. And let's see, I think that's, and the first math for business people is math 201. Okay, so if you're a business major, jot those down. No, just math 201, not business math. That's for an AAS degree. Again, if you have any questions about what fits into the social science, you look at the courses listed on the back. Okay. All right, math and science. If you took Math 107, you have a choice. You can either put Math 107 in Group 2, quantitative, or you can put it in the math science area. You can't use it for both areas. They call that double dipping. It's not allowed. You still got to have 90 credits. So if you put math in the math science area, then you have to come up with something different for quantitative, and then you would have 2 more science classes. If you put the math in the quantitative Group 2, then you would need 3 sciences. You do not have to have a math in Area 5. Okay, you do need to take 1 laboratory class, and I caution people all the time, unless you are taking a program that requires Biology 160, we encourage you to choose a different class for your lab. I encourage students to take either Introduction to Environmental Science, you can make some little notes on your AA degree worksheet, or Intro to Chemistry, Intro to Physics, or Intro to Geology. Don't be put off by the title of physics. A lot of people go, oh, physics. But actually, I can tell you easily 95% of the people that I encourage to take physics come back and they love it. It's not a class designed for science majors. It's a class designed for non-science majors. Now, if you're going to, is there anybody here interested in going into the medical profession, like a doctor or a biology major, anything like that? A nurse, you would need Biology 160. Okay, if you're going to be a biology major or a pre-med student, there's a different sequence of biology classes. Begins with Biology 222. The health and fitness area, unless you're an art teacher or getting an AFA, Associate of Fine Arts, or if you're going to be a PE teacher, if you're not going to be either one of those things, you're going to want to choose for your Group A either Health 101, 104, or 174. Those are 3 credit classes. Okay. So then in the bottom group, we have a number of things listed. Again, you would need to turn over the paper to see if the course that you're interested in taking meets the requirement. A lot of people take cross-training PE for 2 credits. You earn half of the hours on campus. You can earn the other half of the hours required on your own, and you just keep a log. Okay, so question. If Health 101, you took Health 101 at 3 credits, but you decided that you really want to take photography. Has anybody taken photography here? Okay, photography is 5 credits. So now we have 8 credits that we have accumulated in Area 6. And now it's the chorus time. Where do the other 3 credits go? Electives. So anything that's extra from the groups will fall down there into electives. Electives, those are your choice. Again, if you have a good idea about where you want to go when you get to your 4-year school, then you should use that elective area to take classes that are required for that particular degree that you want. Additional, we talked about the additional quarters of language go there. And I talked about there are specific classes for ed majors. And we have those, and their ed department is also doing some counseling sessions. Oh, yes, this is another big area of questions, and that is this area of what is a generally transferable credit and what is not a generally transferable credit. Any course that is listed in the first 5 areas is generally transferable. It's non-restricted, it's good to go, no questions asked. If it's not listed in those first 5 areas and it's not listed in the additional courses, again on the back side under electives it gives you course numbers that are not restricted. If you're going to transfer on what we call the direct transfer agreement, the AADTA, you want to make sure that you don't have any more than 15 restricted electives. I think keeping it to 10 is better, but you are allowed 15 restricted electives. Okay, so what does restricted mean? What restricted means is if you take restricted classes and you transfer to a 4-year college before you finish your AA degree, we cannot guarantee that they're going to give you credit for those restricted courses. If you finish the AA degree, the whole thing goes as a package and they don't pick apart those courses. Those are generally courses that come from AAS degrees. Denise?
So Beverly, what would be an example of a restricted course?
Okay, a restricted elective could be Business Math 102. Not Math 102, but Business Math 102. If you're working on an AAS degree in chemical dependency or social work or paraprofessional educator, a lot of those classes in those AAS degrees are restricted. And an AAS degree, is anybody in here doing an AAS degree currently? Okay. So, and some of you maybe are going to do what they call upside down degree and take that degree to Whitworth, for example, or somewhere else. Okay. So you should probably be meeting with a counselor, but here's the thing that you need to know. An AAS degree is a degree that's focused in a particular area. 2 years, go to work. The AA degree is 2 years, and the primary result is going to a 4-year school. But there are some schools that offer what we call an upside down degree. And I really don't have time to go into that today, but I can answer questions afterwards about it. A lot of students take extra PE, in other words, PE that goes beyond what's required for the AA degree, and that's fine. Some people find that it helps them keep stress down, helps them do better in their classes, but just be aware that they are restricted and they're not moving you further down the road in terms of courses that are probably going to be required for your major. So you got to kind of balance that. All right, now we're going to talk about the W and the D. Okay. W and D are elements that are added to a class more than likely that you will take either in the social sciences or the humanities, or it could be an elective class. I haven't seen a writing intensive class in the sciences for 3 or 4 years. So what that means is don't leave your writing requirement until the end, because if you're like some people, and science is one of the things that you kind of put off a little bit, you're not going to find a W in science. So we recommend that you don't take a W class until you've had English 101. People have taken W classes without having 101, but we really recommend that you take 101 first. But in the schedule, every quarter, the W classes are going to be different every quarter. So you have to look at the particular quarter that you're signing up for. I noticed, for example, the coming quarter, Journalism 110, a humanities credit, is offered in the W format this coming quarter. There's a philosophy class called Modern Philosophical Problems. That has a W on it. English Lit, I think always has a W on it. The writing element The W element is taken and added to a class that is not writing in nature usually, that is not composition. It's going to be a history class. It's going to be a sociology class. It's going to be a film class. It's not going to be, other than English composition, it's not going to be, other than English literature, it's not going to be an English writing class. Those are writing because that's what they're about. Okay. The diversity classes are set. They don't change. They're the same every quarter. Things like jazz history, non-Western art, some sort of history of Latin America. And again, they'll have the D right next to the course title in the schedule. So be knowledgeable of the important dates every quarter. So look for those. I tell people in the quarterly schedule on about page 5 you have a big full page now, thank goodness, instead of being buried about this big on page 13, that says these are the important dates of the quarter. Take that out, keep it in your notebook or pin it up on your home bulletin board or something, but be aware of the important dates. And always register as soon as you are able. You've probably noticed we're really crowded. Look at all the people in this room today. The campus is crowded. You're going to get your best choices. The sooner you register, the better choices you're going to get. Graduation application. I can't tell you how many people come into my office and they say, oh, I think I'm going to graduate at the end of winter quarter. And I say, well, have you applied for graduation yet? Well, no, I'm not graduating until next quarter. No. We want you to apply for graduation when you get to that halfway mark, which is 46. It's actually, somewhere between 45 and 46, but 46 credits. Because number one, guess what? You have to make a graduation application and pay the $20 to get a diploma from us. We're not going to give it to you without you doing that. So pay it when you get to the halfway mark. Why? Because every quarter you're going to get information that says something like this. In addition to the classes that you've already taken and the classes that you're currently enrolled in, this is what you need to do to finish. A, B, C. Then you're not going to get off on the wrong road. You're going to be on the right path to your degree and you're not going to waste any time. Okay? Yeah, don't wait till your last quarter classes because then guess what? You might have put something in a category that really doesn't go in that category. And now you find out that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be finished with my requirements by the end of the quarter. All right, so questions. Questions.
How do you know which electives are restricted and not?
Okay, she asked, how do you know which courses are restricted? Any class that's listed in group number 1 through 5, and the titles are also on the back, plus the courses listed by course name and course number, those are non-restricted. Okay. So here's another little piece of information that you might not know. Let's say you get to the end of spring quarter and you only have one 5-credit class in the social sciences areas to complete. And you really had your heart set on starting at Eastern or WSU or where else? Gonzaga, most colleges. And you've got that one more class to do. Well, guess what? You can go ahead and apply to that college. You can go ahead and start going to that college. And then in that first quarter while you're at Eastern or WSU, you can take that 5 credits in the social science, send it back to us. We check off that you've met your requirements, and we send you your diploma. So there's no need to stay here for that 1 5 or possibly 2 5-credit classes that you need. You can take them at your 4-year college if that's what you want to do. They're totally okay with that. Okay.
Where do we find this graduation application?
The question is, where do we find a graduation application? You can get them either in admissions. We usually have them in the counseling department, and also they're available online. And they're telling us that not too far down the road, it's going to be online graduation application only. And here's another thing you need to know about your degree, and that is, once you've started your AA degree, you come under the rules, so to speak, of what the degree requirements are when you enter. If you stay enrolled in school, it doesn't matter whether you're in 5 credits or 15 credits, but if you stay in school and you don't stop out for more than 3 quarters, and summer does not count in that 3, then you're still under those same rules. If you stop out for more than 3 quarters and you go and do other things and you come back, and if the requirements for the degree have changed, you will be held accountable to the new requirements. And that especially is going to be a question in that area of quantitative studies. So just know that that's might be happening.
Earlier you mentioned that you don't recommend biology for non-science majors.
That's correct.
For your lab class. What if your university that you're applying to asks for some kind of biology but doesn't specify a lab, and you've already taken a lab class? Is there such a thing as a non-lab bio? There
isn't, but there's a biology class called 110, Insects and People, that you would have to check with your college where you're going to see if they would accept that. It is under the title biology, and it is a lab class, but it's not that 160.
Well, I know some schools, like when it comes to like social problems, like they want you to have an intro to social problems. But there's the 101 and then there's the 201. What happens if you take the 201, which is...
Okay, her question is, that we have a class here called Social Problems 201, and it does not, as far as I know, have a prerequisite, so you do not have to take Introduction to Sociology before you take Social Problems 201. Now, in psychology, you do have to take the Introduction to Psychology class if you want to take any of the other other psychology classes. But in sociology, to my knowledge, you do not need to take the intro in order to take the 201 class. Okay, anybody else? Okay, so make sure, some of you came in late. Did we get everybody's name? Okay, good. So I'll have you unblock, those of you who are under 30. Thank you for coming.